Hello, I'm Andrew Flushy. A common question I get is whether or not a person should have their speedometer calibrated. In a lot of cases, a speedometer calibration really does make sense, especially if you're charged with something like speeding or reckless driving. In Virginia, let's use for example 85 miles an hour. In Virginia, that speed is considered reckless driving because it's over 80 miles an hour. So if you're charged with 85 miles an hour, and if we could prove that your speedometer at 85 was actually only reading, say, 80 miles an hour, that almost automatically can get us a reduction out of the reckless driving range of penalties and down to just a regular speeding charge. And in some jurisdictions, it could even get your charge down to something like defective equipment, which is a non-moving violation. So the way the speedometer calibration works is the mechanic would put your car on what we call a dynamometer. They then run your car at various speeds and compare the known speed of the dynamometer, which is the speed the car is actually going, versus the speed that the speedometer is reading. They'll give you a report that shows the comparison of those numbers at various levels of speed, and they notarize it. We can use that calibration certificate in court to show if your speedometer is reading low or not. The key thing here is that we need to make sure that it actually is helpful to us. If your speedometer is reading higher than the speed you're charged with, that would mean that if you're charged with going 85 miles an hour, your speedometer is reading something more than that, like 90 miles an hour. So you had even more reason to know that you were going too fast and should have slowed down. I don't know many courts where that's a helpful speedometer calibration. In fact, I don't know any that I practice in, and so I would suggest we keep that to ourselves. But if it shows that you're reading lower than 85, it would be a great calibration for us to bring in, even if it's only off by a mile or two. Anything helps in a case of reckless driving. Anything we can use to help the judge, help convince the judge to reduce your charge or to beat your charge completely. Every piece of evidence is really important.